next guest is an Emmy-nominated actress you know from shows such as Pam and Tommy and Downton Abbey and movies like The Iron Claw, Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, Baby Driver, and Darkest Hour. You can see her next in Swiped, which premieres on Hulu Friday, September 19th. Let's take a look.
Hey guys, hi. How would you like to meet the hottest girls on campus?
Yes.
Oh, yes, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, get out your phones. Hey guys, so you're really gonna want to choose a profile photo carefully. Don't obsess over your photo, because you can always change them later. That's great. Take your time. Let's start swiping, guys. Let's do it.
I'm not seeing any of the SIG guys on here.
Yeah, I don't recognize any of these guys. They definitely don't go here.
Like I said, I don't think this is gonna be fit for us.
Oh.
Oh my God! Andrew Thompson's on here.
What?
Yeah. Oh, and Kashawn Brooks!
Wait, what? Kashawn? Well, do not swipe right on Kashawn.
I'm swiping!
I'm back with Sophie. And Gabby.
Thanks, guys. Oh, tell your friends.
Hey, wait. What's your profile name?
Please welcome back to the show, Lily James, everybody.
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
I'm well. You have been on a bit of a whirlwind. You were in Toronto for the premiere of this film.
Uh-huh.
Then you were in London for the premiere of this film,
Yeah.
and now you're back in New York. That's not a straight line.
It wasn't a straight line. And I actually started the year out in Costa Rica. I was learning to surf. I spent 6 weeks there. I was getting up at 5 a.m. and hitting the beach and then live streaming into the edit of Swipe from the jungle.
Were you learning to surf for a role, or just because that was a thing you wanted to learn how to do?
It was just a thing I wanted to do.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, it was really fun.
And so, did you have any sort of base code of knowledge about surfing before you went to Costa Rica?
No, not at all. I mean, I'm terrible. But I got better, of course, over time. But
It
it's
helps
pretty
to
tough.
start it terrible. You know what I mean? If you give yourself 6 weeks where you
Yeah.
actually do something, like the problem is like if you do it like for 3 years in a row and you're like,
And
oh,
you're
I'm
still
not getting
shit.
any better. Yeah.
I'm actually going to Australia in a couple of weeks, the Gold Coast, to film, so I'm going to try and pick it up again.
All right, that's fantastic. Now, how long into learning how to surf do you like become a person who has your own surfboard?
I mean, I don't know. I'm so far from
Okay,
that.
gotcha.
Yeah. And I also have like the embarrassingly like long surfboards and the teacher who like pushes me onto the waves.
They sewed 2 surfboards together for you.
Yeah, exactly.
I went surfing with my kids, and I will say, like, with somebody like pushing them, it was very sweet, and they did pretty good.
Yeah, I got some good videos that I posted on Instagram.
And then because you're in showbiz, do you use like CGI? Do you have your CGI friends edit out? Do you
My
edit
team.
out the person pushing you? And they're like, wow, you have such good balance.
I know.
Are you, with travel like this, have you gotten like better at like recovering from long travel? Do you feel like, or is it just as bad as it's always been?
It's always a bit of a whirlwind, but I've been having such a great year. And then I went to Tokyo. I was doing a Takeshi Miike film, and that city is so stimulating. I think when you're going places that are just so exciting and working with great people, you kind of power through.
Had you ever been to Tokyo? Had you ever spent time there?
It's just the most amazing
It's
place.
what everybody says, right? It's just amazing.
It's like so immersive, and then there's this kind of underbelly of chaos. And every night was like it was Alice in Wonderland going down the rabbit hole. It was
Wait, did you ever show up someplace where you looked around and you're like, all right, here we go?
like a lot, yeah.
All right, we'll talk about all those
Yeah,
places
that's a longer
after.
story.
Yeah. You're playing Whitney Wolf Herd. She founder and CEO of Bumble. But she also worked at Tinder, and she was in the marketing department there, and that's sort of what we saw in the clip. Did you know much about Whitney before you started this project?
No, I really didn't, and that's an amazing thing being an actor. You get a script, and I was bowled over. I had no idea there was this woman who was at the epicenter of these apps, and it's hard now to remember a time when dating apps didn't exist, but this was this moment in tech history when they were kind of exploding onto the scene. And exploring her story, the highs, the lows, the challenges she faced, is truly inspiring. I'm so proud to share this film.
I was a little, I was too old. I missed the dating apps.
Yeah. It's not yet.
I think I would have crushed it. But is it something that you ever dabbled in?
I didn't dabble. I haven't, and I feel kind of guilty and a bit of a fake playing the creator of these apps, having never really done it. But I did steal my friend's phone in preparation for this film for research.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Do you know anybody who's had any success stories on dating apps?
My brother married his wife, Stacey, my sister-in-law.
Really?
Yes.
And they were fully on apps?
They were fully on apps. A lot of actually doing this movie, you kind of speak around, you ask people up. One of the long-term producer on this film had met her then partner on Bumble, and it's pretty profound.
I remember the other thing about when it first started, people were like a little embarrassed to say, when you say how you met, like they
Yeah.
were like, oh, I met on an app. And it's so funny that like the other thing is like, we were drunk at the same time.
Well, I'm sort of scared that we're losing this like a lost art of like seeing someone in the bar and just like catching their eye and going over. I hope that doesn't disappear.
Thank you for saying that, because
Yeah.
I miss that for today's kids as well. Like, genuinely.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
I know.
I'm no shade on apps. I think that's great too, but like just meet on apps and then.
Yeah. Well, you're more likely now to like catch someone's eye in a bar and then you'll get a DM the next morning from that person rather than them actually coming up and saying, hey.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? I think it's good that I'm also not in the bars anymore. You are also, you mentioned watching the edit in Costa Rica. You were a producer on this as well.
Yeah.
Do you like having that role? Do you like doing sort of post-production on these movies after you've also been on camera?
It was a huge learning curve, and obviously, like, watching yourself is quite an intense experience. But with this, I was able to be as kind of objective as possible because I was so passionate about telling this story and, you know, playing this formidable entrepreneur. I thought it kind of made sense to step into, you know, to have a bit more agency in the story. And it was actually kind of amazing because I was in New York on the Lower East Side shooting Relay, which is out at the moment, and living with my great friend Gala, and we were simultaneously building a production company together. So it was kind of kismet.
That's wonderful that it
Yeah.
all worked out like that.
Yeah.
You are also, there's a remake of Cliffhanger, the Sylvester Stallone movie,
Yeah.
1993 classic. Maybe my favorite mountain climbing action movie. Were you familiar with 1993's Cliffhanger?
I was. It's the most amazing film, and I guess
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone wasn't available, so they just thought, Lily James.
Yeah, well, it says on your headshot, Sylvester Stallone type.
Yeah, exactly.
But you
Typecasting.
actually, where did you film this one?
Oh, this was in the Dolomites. We were in Austria. It was unbelievable. I was there for 6 weeks, and actually I was on holiday in Ibiza last year, and I suddenly remembered I had to learn to rock climb. So
Was your agent like, why were you taking surfing lessons?
Yeah, I know. I got it all confused. And then I found a teacher in Ibiza, and I spent like weeks and weeks climbing with him 5 hours a day and fell completely in love with it.
Here's a photo, because I think sometimes when you hear like maybe an actor say like, I know how to rock climb now, like, you know, and you were very honest about your surfing skills, but this is the real deal right there, Lily. I mean, that's, unless I'm holding it wrong and you're in a cave,
Exactly.
that I can do that. We can all do that.
You've busted me. Thanks, Dad.
You're like somebody, you tied your ponytail to something up here that we can't see. And Pierce Brosnan is in this
Yeah.
one, and so a very different vibe than your last collaboration, Mamma
Yeah,
Mia.
There was no ABBA in this.
No, this is because this is not a musical.
This is not.
Okay,
No.
gotcha.
There's a good soundtrack, though.
Yeah, that'd be so funny if like they made a new Cliffhanger. You're like, I'm so psyched, and they're like, it's a musical. You're like, I'm not
I
sure
know.
I'm into that.
I'm not sure I can pull that off.
Well, I can't wait to see that. Congratulations on this film as well. And it's
Thank
just so
you.
wonderful to see you again.
You
You guys,
too.
this is Lily James Swipe. Will premiere exclusively on Hulu Friday, September 19th. We'll be right back.